Hi everyone. Oh, what a horrible, miserable day it is here today. It's absolutely tipping it down with rain. So I thought I'd make my day colourful by using this drop paper that you saw me create when I did the leaf cards from the garden. I'll leave the link to that video below for anybody who hasn't seen how I created this page. Now I keep a box underneath my desk of scrap pieces of card left over from other projects. I've got some tags. These are just cut out from a Shreddies packet. I've got some ATCs that I'd cut out and obviously didn't use. In fact, one looks like an ATC and one is slightly smaller. Another tag. I might go and find another ATC size. Actually, that looks like ATC size. I'll see what I can find. I've got a crumpled up shipping tag and then a couple of other tags here. This one looks as if it's cereal box folded over in two. So this is nice and sturdy, and this is just a piece of watercolour paper. So I'm going to see what I can attach to this page. I'll try and maximise it and fit as much on there as possible. And as soon as I've done that, I'll come back, play around with placement, and I can fit these 6 pieces onto my page. So I'm going to go away and glue these down. I think I'm going to use a glue stick. So this is what I've ended up with. I've got 2 of the large tags, 2 of these smaller tags, and 2 ATC size cards. Right, I'm going to add some marks to these 2 tags. I want to use this new stamp here. It's a Kaisercraft stamp. I got a few of them. I got the number 1 as well and a couple of others from the Motorcycle Museum. Most of you have heard me talk about the Motorcycle Museum before. They hold a craft show every 2 or 3 months or so. You pay £4 to get in, but then they just have some fantastic bargains. These were £1 each. Let me just see if I can reach the other ones. I got this one here, which is the numerals. This one, which is dictionary meanings and rocks, and they were £1 each. I got loads of other bits and bobs as well. I'll have to do a haul video, but I want to use this one, and I'm grabbing some black archival ink, and I'm just going to add a bit of random stamping. Here we go. Let me just dab this off first. When you've got a new stamp, it's a good idea to just stamp it off first before you add it to your project. I'm going to add these in the same place. Why not? There we go. Then I want to come in. I've got some bottle tops. These are from various things, cosmetics things. I've got no idea where that one came from. I've got a feeling it was the scrap store. And then I've got one of my spray bottle lids as well. And whoops-a-daisy, I've got some white paint just off in my top left-hand corner. You might not be able to see it. And I'm just going to add some circles, I think, hanging off the page. Let's add one of the big ones down here so that they're not both exactly the same. Got no real plan with this. Let's add one of these smaller ones. In fact, I'll add this one here to the top left-hand corner. Oh, whoops daisy, I've knocked that one over. I'm going to end up covered in paint as usual, but there we go. Story of my life. Add one of those down there too, and then try not to overthink this. And I think I am going to give that a dry. Right, I've decided I want some white splatters on this, so I've just popped some white paint onto my mat, and I've added some water, and I've got my fan brush, and I'm just going to tap some on. Needs watering down a bit more. Slightly, there we go. And we'll do the same on this one. And then I'll let that dry and then decide what I'm going to do about a focal image. I'm making this up as I go along. I've got no idea as yet. Now, after faffing around for goodness knows how long trying to find something suitable and whimsical enough for these tags, I found these. These were sent to me in Happy Mail. They were in the embellishment challenge by Laura Murphy. They're Dilutions stamps. Laura sent it with this stem here. Let me just get it the right way up. But I've decided to go with slightly fatter fatter ones, and I think she sent me 3 flowers, and I think I'm going to put that one to one side and just use these 2. And I'm going to make them a bit like trees. And I've done this by just adding some lines using the broad tip of my marker, and I've just sort of done some wavy bits like this, then gone on the thinner end and just added a few like this. And I've kept going all the way down, just randomly, just putting marks like this, and then I've just cut them out in some wavy shapes, and that's how easy it is to do those, so that those are nice and whimsical. Now, my original plan was to colour the flowers in, but I'm not going to. I just think the black and white just looks wonderful, and what I've done is I've gone round the dots and around the edges just with one of these fine liner pens. This is just the Pentel one, just to sort of really make everything nice and bold and stand out. Now, I just feel that I need a little bit more detail in some of these areas, so I'm going to bring my little tool back in again, and this time I'm going to use archival ink because I don't want it too thick. Paint would be too thick for this, and I'm just going to add a little cluster of these dots, and I'm going to do the same down here as well. Just to add just a little bit more interest. I don't want too much, I think that should be fine. And then I'll repeat on the other card. That to me has made all the difference. It's just added a little bit of more subtle detail. I really like that. Now I'm going to glue, oh, can you hear Louis in the background? He's just can't come in. I think Sam's going to feed him. Right, I'm going to add some of this tape to my stems. So I'm just adding the tape just in a couple of places, just to stick that down. Right, I better go and feed my cat. I did my stems, so those are stuck down now, and I'm just about to do the flowers. Now, you saw me do the stem with the red tape. I'm going to stick these on with some of these sticky pads, and that's how many I've used. I've used plenty in the centre as well because I don't want it to dip when I stick it down. If I just did it around the edges, we'd end up with it sagging in the centre, and I've done exactly the same with the other one. Right, we're nearly there. I've glued those down, stuck those down with my sticky pads, and I've added a couple of quotes, shine and inspire, and I just love the way those look. Definitely the right decision to add some of these extra dots. Now, I can't find any trim that's vibrant enough or the right colour to go with these, so I'm going to make my own. So put those to one side for a minute. I've got some of my dilution sprays in bubblegum pink and squeezed orange. Let's do this one first. Try not to get that everywhere. And I've got some of this ribbon here that I got the last time I was in the scrap store. And this is why I've got my gloves on, because I don't want dyed hands for the next goodness knows how many days. So I'm just going to rub this through. Let me just grab some water for a minute. Hang on. Let's put some more. I thought I'd done the orange one then by mistake. I'm not bothered if I don't get full coverage. A little bit of white is quite nice for a bit of contrast. I'm going to try and cover as much as I can, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with the orange. I've just inked around the edges of the tags, and my ribbon is now finished. I've dried it with my heat tool. I just kept smushing it into the dilutions until I was happy with it. Now, how long do I want my tag? I don't want these pieces too long. In fact, let's just chop it in half. We can always trim it. I'm not going to end up with enough left over to use for anything else anyway. So there we go. But I want a pink one and an orange one. Now, a little tip for you to make it easy to thread through your tag when you've got quite thick ribbon. Just use a bent over piece of wire as a needle. This is just some craft wire. So I'm going to go through the back, pull it through. There we go. And then wrap that through there. Oh, I think that'll be the perfect length actually. So here we are, here's my finished tags. I really love how these have turned out. I don't think you could see when I was adding the smaller clusters of circles, but there they are, and I think those definitely sort of add some more interest to the page. The ribbons have worked out an absolute treat, absolutely perfect. And then I was using the leftover white paint as I was going along as well, and adding it to the tags and ATCs that I cut out. So those are the tags. And then these are the ATCs, so we can work on those in a future project. I've got some ideas for the smaller tags, so perhaps we'll work on that in a couple of days. But I hope you like that. Hope you'll give this a try. Love the way that the black and white stands out against that neon background too. If you like that, I'd really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing, and you know, feel free to share this video with your friends. And if you're not subscribed, you know, if you want to press that subscribe button, that would be great, and click on the bell so that you get notifications of my future videos. And let me know what you think in the comments below. So take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.